good to meet you, man.
Bless up.
Like, your name's been ringing out for years, and it's real inspiring to be able to finally sit down. It's the first time I've hooked up with you. I've seen you before, I've seen you at the Power Summits back in the day and everything else. And it's just been crazy to see your progress go from strength to strength. You've ascended, you've biggest DJ in the world right now.
Man, I appreciate that. Coming from you, that's big, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that.
You are. I mean,
Thank you so much.
I know there's, some people will be like right now debating like, oh no, this producer does this or whatever. But DJ Khaled, the word DJ, biggest DJ in the world.
Man, I appreciate that. You know, representing the DJs, and where I come from a garage, 2 turntables, a mic, a drum machine, a keyboard, and a lot of vinyl records. You know what I'm saying? I come from like the bottom, meaning as in I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Coming from that garage to become where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? A DJ, I want to just let all the DJs know we wear a special crown. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of DJs become producers. A lot of producers become DJs. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day is, DJs, control music in some way and somehow. We know music so well, and I've been blessed to take it from A&R and to producing to being a music exec, as well as being an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I love it, and I appreciate that.
Was this part of the plan? Did you envision this?
I definitely envision everything I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I definitely envision everything I'm doing. I've always set goals when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I always looked up to Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, Russell Simmons, you know what I'm saying, Barry Gordy, Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I was going to be great, you know what I'm saying? But I also knew I would have to work hard, super hard. I knew it wasn't just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? From being in that garage, hanging up Biggie posters and Bob Marley posters and Buju Banton posters, and you know what I'm saying, from Tribe Called Quest to P Rock and CL Smooth to KRS-One, all this greatness around me, Jay-Z and Big Pun and Joe Crack, these posters I had in my room. Everybody had a DJ room, and if it was a Public Enemy cover, Rebel Without a Pause, or Peter Piper cover, or LL Cool J Rock the Bells, like, I always knew I was gonna be great like them. You know what I'm saying? But I also knew that it was gonna take time and hard work and dedication, and break a lot of barriers and weather a lot of storms. You know what I'm saying? I respect anybody that could weather a storm and come out in the sunshine and shine. They always told me I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember, they saying I couldn't have a radio show, my own radio show. I ended up having the #1 radio show for over 15 years. You know what I'm saying? I remember they said I could never put an album out. I'm on my 10th album. You know what I'm saying? That was my inspiration, as well as the love of the music. I remember.
What was the first record you ever bought?
Man, my first record I ever bought, actually, it was crates that was given to me, and it had Peter Piper in there. It had Rock the Bells. Those are like my favorite records to cut up, like Peter Piper, you know what I'm saying? I remember Rock the Bells, and I remember like Rebel Without a Pause. You know what I mean? Those are like the vinyl that I got when I knew I was going to be a DJ. And it just, grew from, KRS-One, and then, hip-hop started evolving even more, when Pete Rock and Diamond D, and, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on. You know what I'm saying? I can go on for days, from Tribe Called Quest to, you know what I'm saying? I just remember playing Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Reminisce. You know what I'm saying? Just remembering that moment, that vinyl when I got it. I remember getting like, certain exclusive vinyl from like Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying, where they would put a song that never was on the album on the vinyl, or like, for instance, Public Enemy would put an acapella of, what was it? Yes, The Rhythm, The Rebel, but it was on an acapella of another record, not on the 12-inch of, if I'm not mistaken, the 12-inch, but it was on another record with the acapella. You know what I'm saying? I remember records like, Hoo Ha, and all these records like that inspired me, that still inspire me. You know what I'm saying?
What was your first party like?
My first party was, we threw our own party. We charged everybody, besides like house parties and stuff like that, but the first like real party for me was we threw our own party. We rented out a hall. It was a hotel ballroom first, and then, you know, I was like, why wait on a promoter to hire me? Why? Like, why I'm putting my greatness into somebody else's hands when we could throw the party ourselves? So I remember doing that, and I was like, I was so excited because we made a few $1,000s, and I left my little $1,000 I made on the side of my bed. So when my dad came home, he would see that little 1,000 on the dresser. He'd be like, how you get that? I'm like, I'm out here working. I'm out here hustling. You know, I wanted to inspire him too because he inspired me. You know what I'm saying? So we rented a hall out.
Like, how were your parents, you know, when you was doing all this, when you was trying to come through as a DJ? What was their reaction like?
They supported me 100%. You know, my family always wanted to make sure I was happy and that I would not get in trouble, and they knew my music made me happy. You know, they dealt with the loud music in my room to the point where they say, you know what, the garage is yours. Do whatever you want with the garage. And, you know, I remember the garage being a garage, and it turned into a studio. You know, little by little, I turned it into a studio. And then, you know, when I got older, you know what I'm saying, when I had to go live on my own, you know what I'm saying, if it was from an apartment or a hotel room, whatever I had to do, I had over 25, 30 crates with me everywhere I went. Like, everywhere I went, I had my crates with me. You know what I'm saying, ready at all times. You know, I come from a cloth of, you know, sound clashing. You know what I'm saying? I come from like that cloth where you have to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Someone once said to me, like, they were talking about what you was doing, you know, your process of making tracks, and then, you know, we talk about US DJs, like being in the UK, like, you know, we're inspired by what you guys do over here, and we've got our own way of doing things.
Love what y'all doing over there too.
And someone, when your name came up, it's like, yo, Khaled, he's different, highly motivated, he's highly, like, persistent, he's focused, and all of these, they say the same words every year when I talk to the same people. Where's that come from? Like, how do you get that? Because not everybody's got it.
Well, first of all, God is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And I believe we have life. You know what I'm saying? We breathe in it. And if you think about it, there's real problems out there. You know, some people don't have life, and we have it. So I refuse to put myself in a situation where somebody's going to tear me down or pull me down or put me in an energy where it's negative when it's already a cold world. I always say it's a cold world, bundle up. You know what I'm saying? I know that already. Like, so why I'm going to live what they bring, energy. So I say to myself every day, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be great. I'm going to be inspired. Even when times is hard, even when it's storming, you know, I got to say to myself, man, I want to make sure I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And love of music, that's what gives me my drive. You know what I'm saying? To make music, to put it out, to find it, to create it, to put different emotions into these tracks and ideas. You know what I'm saying? Even when I get on the turntables, you know, some days I might be in a cool out vibe. Some days I might be in a vibe where I want to cause an earthquake. You know what I'm saying? And I find that inspiration through God. But at the same time, as I have another inspiration, it's my biggest blessing, is my son. And my son changed my whole life. Nothing matters but my son. So everything I do is for my son. You know what I'm saying? God gave me the biggest blessing ever. When my son smiled, I feel like God is smiling through my son, and my son smiling at me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my inspiration level is so high. And anybody around me, I try to inspire them, to uplift them. Because I keep saying, if you don't want to be uplifted and be blessed up, then what you want to be? You want to be mad? We all have emotions. We all get frustrated. We all go through a lot of the same problems. But at the same time, it's just how you deal with it. You know, love is the key. Love is the answer. And love is the solution.
We're going to talk about your son, like, in great detail, like, further on. But I just want to, like, for me, I'm fascinated by what you've done as a DJ. You've come through, you're an inspiration for all DJs worldwide, and the way that you took it to that next level. When you was on radio and you're doing it for 15 years, what insight and what skill does that give you for people who may not know? Because it's only when you do it, like when you every night or every week, that commitment, it does give you an extra vision that regular people don't have or artists don't have.
Well, me coming up from radio, you know, I've been blessed to do college radio, and you know, some call it pirate radio. I call it community radio, and also was blessed to be on the big station like yours. You know what I'm saying? In Miami, WEDR 99 Jams. I want to give Uncle Luke a shout out for letting me be his DJ of his radio show, as well as one of his co-hosts. You know what I'm saying? But before that, I came from pirate radio. And, you know, through the radio, what I learned as a producer and as a music man, you know, I have to know what the people like. I have to know what the people love. If it's on the radio from people requesting, and if it's a vibe that puts me in the zone, or if I'm in the club, I have to move the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's just a lounge and I just have to make people feel a spiritual way. I might, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different events for different music. So what I learned as a producer and as a music man, as an executive, and as an A&R, you know what I'm saying, that as a DJ, we know certain intros that we love to cut up or how to bring a record in. So as a producer, when I go in here and create records, I make sure the records start off a certain way that is DJ friendly, where we can make it bring back, cut up, you know what I'm saying, or a certain break, or a certain build up, or a certain sequence, or a certain ride out part of the record. You know what I'm saying? The hook has to sonically feel a certain way. You know, I take all my DJ skills and my radio skills, that's where you get my hit. You know, like, you know, I put out hits. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed to put out #1 records, and I like, you know, radio always say you have to play the hits. You know what I'm saying? So when I make a record, I say, what's the hits out there right now? What do people like? I never follow a trend. Only thing I'm going to do is, that's what you like, I'm going to make a bigger one. That's how it sounds, I'm going to make my record sonically sound bigger. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's so many elements when I go in the studio. When I'm making the record and I'm fully in charge, it's like, the Khaled anthem is special.
You're on radio, 15 years deep. What were your greatest experiences? Just what were the kind of artists that would pass through your show?
Oh man, I had like from pirate radio to the big station. When I say big station, like, you know, the legal station. From the early days, Big Pun, Joe Crack, KRS One, Cameron, Mobb Deep. The list goes on. You know what I'm saying? Every like Lil Wayne, the whole Cash Money. Every artist in the world I've interviewed or been on my show from that time and era that I was on radio. They, you know, when you came to Miami, you was on my show. You know, it's too many to name. You know what I'm saying? Including every reggae artist.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? Too. Now, you can't forget my dancehall roots and my conscious roots, because it's still in me. That's forever. So it's too many to name. Every single artist, I have history with them.
Let's take it back to say 2005. You're doing your thing on the radio. You're in the clubs. I mean, I was in Miami and I heard you on the radio at the time. Like, it was the voice of the streets, basically.
Yeah.
A soundtrack to the streets.
Thank you.
What then gave you the audacity to turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to do an album? Because a lot of DJs wouldn't. A lot of DJs are just, they'd be happy with just doing that slot on the radio or doing the club or whatever.
You know, a lot of people don't know, before my first album, I made an album that I never put out. I was that so ahead of time, and my vision was so focused, where I always, you know, as a producer, I used to be called Beat Novocaine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to produce records for like Fabulous, Ludacris, Fat Joe, obviously, and other artists, and that was my DJ Khaled and Beat Novocaine. So I was so inspired to work with artists, and I just always said to myself, man, I would love to make my own album, but to give you the real answer is, somebody told me that I couldn't even make a mixtape. So, and they said that I'd be local forever.
Who said that?
Ah, man. You
All
know,
right, put it this way. Are they still around?
yeah, they still around,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And
Is that an artist?
no, it wasn't an artist, and you know, and a few people tagged along with it, and it wasn't just that one person. I realized that they didn't see what I was seeing, and so instead of I made like a mixtape. And I said instead of the mixtape, I'm gonna make the album. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna treat my album the same way your favorite biggest artists. If Drake making an album, if it's Biggie making an album, if it's Jay-Z making an album, if it's Ross, Nas, the same way what they put in their albums to, you know, God willing, make a classic. From the productions to the lyrics and everything, I took that same inspiration to make a DJ Khaled album.
Okay.
I never took the approach to say, I'm making a DJ album like a mixtape. That's not what my albums are, which I love those too. But my album is, I want it to be up beside your favorite all-time ever album you like. That's my goal. That's the type of energy and passion I go in my studio. Like, you know, if I have to put an interlude or the intro or the certain sequencing, the cover, you know what I'm saying, the sample, the sound, like my album is, just because you don't hear me rap, but you hear me and you're gonna feel me throughout the whole album, and just know 99% of the songs is coming from an energy from Khaled, meaning as in throwing it back to the artist. This is what I want to do. This is the name of the album. This is the energy that we need to accomplish on this album. And that's why my records sound the way they sound. And then sometimes I'm blessed for records to come in and it be a connection where, man, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's about having a great ear. You know what I'm saying? I don't never discriminate or let a hit pass by. I don't care who make it, if it's me, or if it's my team, or if it's you. Either way, we gotta collaborate to make it on the Khaled album, because I gotta put my touch to it. And then if I make it, you gotta put your touch to it. It's collaborating. You know what I'm saying? That's what music's about. You know what I'm saying? And it's about putting the right people in the room and making the greatest records. I don't wanna make a good record. I wanna make the greatest records. You know what I mean? And this album right here, Grateful, is my biggest.
How'd you get Kanye West on your first album?
Man, Kanye West, before we talk about the first album, you know I got him when this is the guy that made Jesus Walks.
Yeah. Yo, I'm a Kanye stan.
Me too,
Like,
I'm a fan.
So when I heard Grammy Family,
Yes.
I was like, that's when I knew, like, you'd cleaned it up. I was like, that's a banger.
I have to tell you a
That's
story
like,
because the Kanye West story, first of all, I've been blessed to know Kanye West before he became the Kanye West, meaning as in one of the greatest of all times. And Kanye West, we used to be in the studio, and a friend of mine from Chicago introduced me to him. And from there, we built a relationship. And when I was shopping my beats, he would come in the studio, and I think he was working with people in the studio, and I would always see him. And he had friends that I knew, and we ended up just being cool. And there was one time, and I was, you know, DJ Khaled, meaning as in, you know, if you got a record, you know what I'm saying, you need to holler at so I can help you break your record. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love to give me their records first to play. But I met him as a producer before he really became the full-fledged rapper.
Okay.
And I remember, what record was it? All Falls Down? Which one?
Yeah.
Originally, he wanted, I think he sampled Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. And Selena Johnston did it. Yeah.
We was in Miami, and he came to Miami, and he told me, like, yo, I'm trying to get Lauryn Hill cleared. And I was like, yo, I might can help. I don't know if he remembers the story, but I was like, yo, I might can help you because, you know, the Marleys are my friends. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, at that time, you know what I'm saying, that was a vibe.
As in Bob Marley, Von
The
Marley,
Sons.
Damien Marley.
Yeah, all of them. Stephen Marley.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry. You know, the Marleys. You
Just
know,
to make it clear.
Stephen, Raga Raga, Junior
Yeah.
Gong,
Yeah.
Rohan, Damien, you know what I'm saying? All of them.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, if you want me to put a call, but he ended up doing it on his own, and I think he ended up using something else. So
Yeah, Selena Johnson.
Yeah, so I don't think he got it cleared. But that's when he was freestyling to me, and I was like, you know, and he gave me a record. What was the record that he put out with the Jaw?
Oh, Through the Wire.
Yeah, and one was before that.
He did. There was a white label. It was Through the Wire and Two
Yeah,
Words.
I forgot exactly which one, but that time,
Yeah.
I broke his record on the radio.
Right.
Like really went in before people embraced him as an artist.
Yeah.
Like I made a movie. I believed. I seen the vision. I liked him. He was before he gave me a record. He would freestyle to me. He was real passionate.
Yeah.
I like this guy. That's how I be. So I'm like making a movie. He called my show up and he just thanked me for like breaking his record early. It's early.
Right.
And if you hear him on Grammy Family, he said some Khaled, turn the volume up because he was talking about basically me showing love to him early in his career. And I don't know if he remembers all this, but me and him are, that's my brother, he's my friend. And that's how it become. And then I was working on my album and I was like, yo man, I would love you on my album, this and that and that. I'm working on my stuff. He just showed me love. He's like, let's do it.
But Grammy Family,
It's special.
that like the knock on the drums, the quality, the rhymes, like everything, Consequence, like is
you know John Legend on there too. Like, you know, that's Kanye blessed me.
Yeah.
That was Kanye blessed me.
For your first album.
For my first album, he blessed me. And let me tell you, he also paid for the video.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was from the man at that time. I was, you know, I was from the mud to marble floors now. Like I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like, I say, I want to love to shoot a video of this. And he's like, let's do it. And he paid for the video.
Damn.
And we shot it in L.A., told me to come to L.A. We shot it, and he brought everybody, you know, the Grammy family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was, like, special, man. You know, and, you know, we made numerous records after that.
So for me, that was, when I saw that, I was like, okay, like, Khaled serious is doing
First album.
Second album, I'm So Hood. Like, handsome, man. Like, how did that feel at that moment in time? Because that felt like that was the moment you really arrived, you know. I don't think you could have yelled any louder.
That was
the power in that track.
was the moment.
Right.
I'm So Hood and We Taking Over were the two records on that one album. That one album was called We the Best. I'm So Hood, We Taking Over, and Brown Paper Bag was all on one album. That's when I knew, that's when my life changed. And that's when I knew, oh nah, I'm in the game for real now. That I'm So Hood.
Yeah.
And it felt so good because I represent Miami. To have me, Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, T-Pain, and Plies. So all of us is Florida. And that record was the biggest anthem in the streets, on radio. I don't care where you turn, you heard, I'm so hood.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. It was so big and it lasted so long. It's a classic. But I'm talking about, but it lasted so long. I remember, like, it just was so big for me. The video was special. You know what I'm saying? We shot it right there in Overtown, Dade County, 305 Miami. Then We Taking Over, you know, was groundbreaking. It's like, that's when people knew that I wasn't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, oh, this guy's here. You know what I'm saying? He not playing. And from that day, I never turned my back. I went straight, nonstop. Them records were so big that people would try to give me a lot of money to take the record from me, to have it for themselves.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, nah. And I needed the money at that time. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
I believe in me.
And what's crazy is, you know, DJ culture, incredibly competitive. Like, you got the respect from all DJs. There's never been, you know, like, certain regions over here, the politics are disgusting. Like, you know, just as a fan seeing it from overseas. But for yourself, like, I've never heard anyone saying, no, we can't play that on. No. My man's like, you know, it's crazy that you're embraced by DJs worldwide as well. It's like they see you as equal, you know, almost even though you're.
That's beautiful, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And I know that's like hard because.
Especially in hip hop.
Yeah, you know, when I was coming up in the game, they said no DJ would play my record. They were trying to convince me to say you can't talk on your record or they won't play it. I said, nah, I'm not listening to you. And if they don't want to play it, then they don't want to play it. But I'm not going to change my vision of who I am and compromise for something that I know what I'm going to do forever and for the rest of my life. And they kept saying radio kept saying they won't play it. That's what they kept telling me. All the radio
Who's
people
this, programmers? Like
radio people that work records and programmers, they used to say it like, we can't play. I'm like, why? Why? Tell me why. And I didn't give up.
Right.
I didn't surrender and I didn't fold. And my music was so powerful. I have a number one rule. You can never, ever, no hate in the world can stop a hit record. I don't care if they want to say they don't want to play it. If you don't want to play it, you cannot stop what the people love. And when that happens, it becomes a demand. And that's why people request. That's why people have a lot of fans. That's why some people sell a lot of records. Because the fans, they so great. When they love something, they represent. And I was blessed that my music was powerful, that people liked, meaning as in the fans. And me as a person, I'm a good man. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to come greet you with love. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ain't going to let nobody play with me either. You know, I'm a man. But at the end of the day, when I meet you, I'm going to show you love. And hopefully, you know, when you put love out, you get love back. And if the music's good, you're like, you know what? I'm going to play Khaled's record. You know what I'm saying? And not as that, I'm grateful. Like, all my relationships from DJs that played my first record 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I'm still in contact with them. Right now, I still call them with the same hunger, with the same energy, and do the same drops every day and do 1 million drops and do exclusive versions or, you know, show up to their birthday parties. Because I'm a DJ. I know how much that feels good for an artist to support because DJs are powerful. They break music. You know what I mean? Somebody got to play it. We're the ones that play it. And I respect the DJ because I'm a DJ. So that's why DJs love me too, is because not only did I break the door down, help break, because there's other DJs that broke the doors down too, and I help break the door down more. They're inspired. And you know what? I tell them, yo, don't let nobody put you in a box. Do whatever you want to do. If it's a producer, you might be the next program director. You might be the next CEO of the next biggest record company. You might sign the next biggest artist. You might be the next biggest producer being a DJ. Dr. Dre was a DJ. Swiss Beats was a DJ. Irv Gotti was a DJ. You know, the list goes on. You know, like being a DJ, that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, look what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, I DJ, I produce, I'm an artist. I'm one of the biggest executives. I'm also entrepreneur, own restaurants, own real estate, all because I started being a DJ. But I never let nobody say, this is all you could do. You know what I'm saying? I refuse for somebody to put handcuffs on me. That ain't happening. And you can hear it through my music. You can hear it through my message. They don't want us to win. They don't want me to do this interview with you. But guess what?
Yo,
we doing
that's
it.
another story.
Yeah, you feel me?
Third album, Kanye West Again. Go hard. Banger. Banger. Like, so not only like Kanye West Again, the remix though, as one of Jay-Z's hardest verses. Crazy.
Man,
How did that come about?
So I want to tell you a story. It's a serious story.
You do.
Which one? We going Jay-Z?
Now you lead the way.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Go Hard, me, Kanye West. First of all, that record's incredible. I played Kanye West that record. He had a show in Miami. I went backstage, and he had a bunch of people in the dressing room. Kanye West is the biggest artist out there. I couldn't, you know, you can't just get a hold of Kanye West. I had to go backstage, found him. He had speakers back there. I turned the speakers up. I'm performing the record for him like, this is it. You know what I'm saying? He was like looking at me like, I was like, this is gonna be the record. He took the beat and he said, you got me. It took him a long time to do it because he's been touring. It's Kanye West, he's big. You know what I mean? He got his own music to make and he got it to me. And he snapped on it. Me and T-Pain, we make great music together. You know what I'm saying? So when me and T-Pain get in the studio, I'd be like, T-Pain be in the booth, and I'll be like, just giving him talk, or I'll be here and we be talking, like, we gotta go hard, like, and he'll just take that energy and just go in the booth, and it becomes a hook. You know, that's why I love working with T-Pain, because he could take the energy and immediately get what we need to accomplish that day. He'll put it into a hook.
Right.
So, you know, there's just good energy. So the record comes out. I wanted Jay-Z on the original.
Right.
And I kept trying to get him on the original, and I was hearing that he might do it. Shout out to Lenny S., my brother, and he was fighting for me to get it. And he's like, yo, he thinking about he might do it. And I'm like, man, my album about to come out. You know, I don't think it's going to happen, but I ain't want to give up. So I heard he did it, but nobody's playing it for me and nobody will give it to me. So I'm like, I'm confused. So maybe Jay at that time wasn't sure to, you know, give me the verse. You got to remember, Jay-Z was retired at that time. So nobody heard Jigga in a long time, meaning as in records, because he retired at that time, supposedly. Meaning as in, we ain't hear a new Jay-Z record in a while. So my album come out, Go Hard come out. Go Hard's a big success. We shoot a video, me, Hype Williams, T-Pain, Kanye West, Go Hard. We make, you know, my career's on the climb. We on fire. Go Hard is an anthem. It's big, and Kanye spitting crazy bars. So now it's about, the album been out. Now it's like Christmas time. Lenny calls me. Yo, Jay want me to send you the verse. Merry Christmas. Yeah, this record been out. He sent me that verse. I lost my mind when I heard him spitting the flows. And, you know, I'm a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
And he was like, and remember, ain't nobody heard Jay-Z in a long time.
Yeah.
So boom, I went straight to the studio and I called my dog Maine from the Runners, and I was like, yo, I got Jay-Z on it. And I had an idea. I was like, yo, I want to take the bam, Jigga, the bam, bam.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them my idea.
And only a DJ would know that.
Right, so I wanted that to be the intro, so they cut it up.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, man, let's put this in here, you know what I'm saying? And the DJ's gonna go crazy. We got Jay-Z, it's gonna connect. I'm gonna change the intro talk, but we gotta put the, you know, bam, Jigga, like that, you know, so the DJ can cut it up.
And when you play it in the club, epic. It's like something. It's like the end of the world.
Yeah, it's like
vibe,
300
you know?
or like.
Yeah.
It's like Achilles is coming on a horse. Yeah, it's crazy. No, trust me, it's crazy. So I get Jigga, so I do that. I think it's now like, I think like it's Christmas Day or Christmas Eve we did it. It's like, I was so excited, and I immediately called Funkmaster Flex. And I was like, yo, Flex, I got Jay-Z on the remix of Go Hard. And I gave it to him, and he made the biggest movie. And, you know, we made history. That was my first time working with Jay-Z. And for him to say my name in the record, for him to put all them flows.
That was Jay in the Pocket.
Man. And it just let me know that I ain't give up. It happened. And after that, the mission was to really go back in the studio with him to do more music. And that took time, but we did it.
Okay. How did you first connect with Drake?
Drake, first of all, Drake, man, is an amazing person. It's my brother. And he's really supported me a lot in my career, you know. And I met Drake, obviously, through Young Money, Lil Wayne, and the whole family. And, you know, when he first came in the game, I reached out to him immediately to do a record. And we did a record with me, Usher, Jay-Z, Drake. It was called Fed Up, you know what I'm saying? And he did like 8 bars. And this is when he had his mixtape out. And I wanted him so bad. I knew he was going to be the next biggest thing. And his buzz was getting big, but I just knew this kid was special. And he agreed to do it. And we just, ever since, built a relationship. And he has respect for me. He always told me that he always listened to my music, you know, before he became the big Drake. So that was inspiring, knowing that he was, connected with what I do. And also, I think me and him connect a lot too, is because he's from Canada, I'm from Miami, and I've been raised around yard vibes,
Right.
meaning as in, yard man and, Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? I come from a cloth, from my DJing. I used to go to Jamaica all the time. Like, I'm really, I love Jamaica, you know what I'm saying? And, I know Canada's has a lot of that also amazing influence and from Caribbean. So our relationship we became brothers and friends, and then he blessed me with I'm On One. You know what I'm saying? Which a record that one of my biggest records. You know what I'm saying? And what I love about Drake is he cares about me, and he cares about me winning. And you don't find many people like that. You know what I'm saying? And I have the same love back for him, meaning as in I respect him as an artist. I think he's one of the greatest, meaning as in for our time. Like, I put him up there with all the great ones. You know what I'm saying?
Outside of hip hop, you mean? Like
He's an amazing artist in hip hop, whatever genre you want to call it. But hip hop, of course, he's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's amazing, but he's just a good person. You know what I'm saying? Him and Future the Prince and 40 and his whole team, they always embrace me with love. And I just feel like anytime you have a Khaled and Drake record or a moment, the fans know it's going to be great. You know what I mean? But he's always supported me, and that's like, he's one of the artists that, from Lil Wayne to Rick Ross to Drake, Future, Fat Joe, Jigga, just to name a handful that been there for me, the minute they met me.
right.
And I could call them and I know they're gonna be there for me. You know what I'm saying? That's special. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've done 1 million records with Rick Ross. That's my brother. That's family. I've done 1 million records with Lil Wayne. That's my brother. That's family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just them being the greatest artists. No, that's family to me. And we push each other to be great, and we support each other. And sometimes it's not about making a record, it's supporting each other by having a conversation. You know what I mean? And that's called friendship. And Drake, man, look at the history we made. I'm On One, For Free, No New Friends, To the Max. I just dropped To the Max. Love that record. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many records we've done. It's just incredible.
How did you get I'm On One delivered to you?
Well, I'm On One. Wow, that record was like a record that Drake hit me up. He's like, yo, I got this team. And it just had his verse on it. And I heard it and I lost my mind. I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I forgot what tour it was. Me, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross. It was a tour we was on. And I was working on my album. He's like, yo, check this out. And I heard it. I'm like, yo, man, please let me get that. And he's like, and I know people probably was telling him not to give me that. Because it was so big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I was like, let me finish it. Let me ask Wayne. Let me ask Ross. You know what I'm saying, to get on this. Basically, he blessed me. You know what I'm saying? And I finished the record. I got Wayne on there. I got Ross on there. I did my thing, what I do. And he basically blessed me, man. And, by us collaborating, getting this record fully done, like, to this day, I thank him every single day, especially about that record. And that record, I think, gave us the identity of the Khaled and Drake collabo. And from that day, they've been incredible. You know what I mean? And working with Drake, not many people get a chance to get a Drake feature. It's not easy to get a Drake feature.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You got to be a special person to get it. And if you get one, you know what I'm saying, that's like, some people, that's a lot of love.
It's not easy to get a Drake interview.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. When you interview Drake, I immediately went to watch that shit. I'm like, because I know he don't really do interviews.
Yeah.
So for you to interview him, that means he trusts you, he like you, he like your energy. Because I know, Drake. Obviously, you interviewed him, but Drake is a special person, man. Like, and for me, I have nothing but great and good things to say about him, and he's one of the greatest. One of the greatest.
How did you connect with Jay-Z? Like, you got him on a track on album 3, moving down the line now, you finally get to collab with him, but what was the point where you managed to open that door and get into the circle?
Well, Lenny S has been a good friend of mine for a long time, and that's Jay's man, and he introduced us officially the right way, not just hearing about
How's that?
Like, Jay, this is Khaled.
Like, was it a meeting though?
I mean, I don't remember the exact first time, because I met Jay numerous times, but not through Lenny S, just being in the game. Yeah. What's up, boom, boom.
Was this when he was president of Def Jam?
I know, I knew him before that.
Well.
I knew him before that.
Okay.
I knew him before that.
Okay.
But when we, officially met each other properly, meaning as in, being in the studio, being in a room, not in a club, not at a concert, we chopping it up, and, our relationship, it was getting stronger and stronger. I have so much respect for him. He inspired me in so many ways, from making music and as a businessman, as a mogul. You got to remember, he was president of Def Jam. Then, after he was done, L.A. Reid ended up appointing me president of Def Jam South. Like, he inspired me to do more than I usually do. You know what I mean? And he's Sagittarius, I'm Sagittarius. Me and him are like really good friends. He's like my brother to me, and he's also my manager now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rock Nation, yes, but Jay-Z manages DJ Khaled. Now, there's Rock Nation, and there's Rock Nation I manage hands-on by Jigga Man. You know what I'm saying? Of course I'm Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? We the best Rock Nation, but I'm managed by Jay-Z, and he don't do that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We have a good relationship, and I want to work with people that want to work with me with good energy. I call Jay up, and I know it's going to be a great conversation or some great advice. I get in the studio with him to make music. I know if he's making his music, I'm going to be inspired. If it's me playing him music, not even to ask him to get on, it's to play music for him, to hear my music, you know what I'm saying, to get his opinion, to catch a vibe. You got to remember, I went on tour on Formation with Jay-Z and Beyonce,
Yeah, at that point, I was like, you're living the dream. Like, I saw the footage, like, the stadiums, and he was rocking the crowd, killing it, like.
It was, man. I want to, that was like that changed.
As big as it gets.
Yeah, that was a life-changing situation and moment for me. And thank you, Beyonce and Jay-Z, for making that happen. That was unbelievable, you know what I'm saying? And through that energy, we made I Got the Keys. And we shot a video. This man don't shoot no videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We shot the video before the record came out. My relationship with Jay-Z is amazing. I can just pick up the phone and I know he got me. He a real dude.
When you're putting these albums together and, when you're curating, like, you're like the ultimate curator, the ultimate selector, because you're not just selecting the music, you're selecting artists to appear on a track. How do you navigate situations where artists are throwing subliminals? Because there's a couple of artists that, and it's not really dissing, but it's like jabbing, and it's like, for instance, like, how was it when you first heard what Drake said on I'm On One when he was talking about taking the throne, at the time?
Well, so let me be clear. Everybody knows working with me that I'm not about no diss records.
Yeah.
So that's not happening. But if somebody, first of all, if somebody throws subliminals, I get it. It's a competitive game. It's an art. As long as, if it's subliminal, then it's subliminal. You can't control all the subliminals. One day you'll interview a bunch of artists and you bring up my name, they're going to tell you, Khaled is, I refuse, I'd rather make you change something if I felt that uncomfortable. And sometimes there'll be lyrics that go in the track and I don't catch it till the record come out.
Right.
I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'm just so excited to get the verse, and I didn't realize it'd be a subliminal in there. Sometimes, but then at the end of the day, I get it. You know what I mean? We all do it in a certain way if it's subliminal. So I'm cool
But
with
you got some of the biggest subliminals. Like
You think so?
You got
No,
you got some
well, I
great
got the biggest
subliminals.
artists
Yeah, you got
on my record. So,
got the keys.
but hold on. Again, subliminals. Do I want them on my records? No. Does it happen? Yes. But guess what? If I go back and listen to all those artists that do it and listen to all their records, they do it all day long. But on my record, I guess it's a different light on there. But you know what? That just shows you, man, we making something great. But as long as they ain't no name calling and all that, they know I won't allow that. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? Even if I have to lose the record. I don't want to do it no more. All right, cool. What can I do? I'm still gonna be DJ Khaled. I'm still gonna make a number one tomorrow. I'm gonna always make the biggest records. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that's hip hop. What can we do?
It's been hard for DJs, mainly because things have changed. Like the mixtape game, that artists started doing their own mixtapes. The internet kind of messed it up for a lot of people, and then the advent of streaming, and they started bringing this word about curation, like it's a new thing. But as DJ, it's really a selection. It's selectors. Is what we've been doing for years. Like shout out to Green Lantern. We was talking about this. And it's you survived like all these errors, all these changes, and we're in a situation now where it's kind of like you're kind of like the new model for like what it is to be a DJ now. You do everything. What was it that made you like be one of the first to really embrace Snapchat and take it to that next level? Because a lot of people didn't see it coming.
Well, the Snapchat thing was basically a friend of mine, Whiteside from Miami Heat, and my brother Mokes, a friend of mine named Mokes. They always used to bug me all the time, like, man, you gotta get on the Snapchat. I used to see them just do it, and I'm like, obviously I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. We gotta be with the times. We gotta be on, all these new devices. And any device I use, I always use it in a way to bring awareness to my music or put out good energy or love or, in a good way. So I got introduced to Snapchat, and at that time, I just dropped my album. I changed a lot. I was independent. I was going through some hard times personally. I started seeing the music business and people turning their back on me. Like, I've always put out hits. So I've always won. I've been blessed to do that. But I started seeing the business try to turn their back on me. And the reason why I'm telling you that story is because when I got introduced to Snapchat, I told my queen, I was like, hey, my album just dropped. I've been on the road for damn near 11 months. And I come home from a long road trip and I'm tired. The album dropped. I'm exhausted. I wanted it to do a lot better, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, my singles are always big, but I wanted the album to do better. I'm independent. I'm spending all my own money. Times is hard, but I never let nobody see that. I'm telling you stuff.
It's difficult to imagine that.
Right, but because I'm never going to let nobody, when I say this, I'm telling you this for a reason because I basically took every dollar of mine and bet on myself, which I have from the beginning of my career, but at that time on another level. And, you got to understand, I'm used to I've had label deals, you know what I'm saying? So my deals were up. I got out of my last deal. So I was free agent. And I decided to go independent because I know my worth. So I wasn't going to be desperate to let somebody, to sign with somebody, a label deal with somebody for this small amount of money because I'm worth more than that. This DJ Khaled, you know what I'm saying? When I mean that in a respect way, humble way, but at the same time, very confident. I got catalog. I got a track record. I do this shit. So that whole time, I felt like the game was turning their back on me. So I tell my queen, I was like, listen, this is the first time I'll tell you that I feel a certain way. So what I want to do is, all this work I put in this game, I said to myself, what the fuck do I have to show for it? What do I have to show for all the work? All my plaques, that's it? My plaques. I got plaques. You go to my studio in Miami, it's 1 million plaques. Triple platinum. I'm talking about, like, I don't think you realize how much shit that I have hardware for when people walk in my room. But I said, that's all I have to show for? So I told my wife, I was like, my queen, I was like, I'm going to buy this house we have. I'm going to spend my last dollar to buy this house because I'm mad at myself. Like, what do I got to show for? I said, if anything go wrong, at least we got a home. We got a swimming pool. We could barbecue. There's one more request. I want to have a child. I said, what am I waiting for? Because I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm just not happy right now. You know, nobody knows. I always keep my head up. You know what I'm saying? I always win. But inside I wasn't happy. And I was frustrated, meaning as in, the game's supposed to respect me more than this. So I ended up getting my queen pregnant. And I decided to have a child to a time where I was having hard times. But I wanted that because I'm like, what do I have to show? I want a family. I want to be able to live the dream that goes. I want to have a family, man. I want to live life. Snapchat. The reason why I'm telling you this story because it connects with Snapchat. So they finally put Snapchat on my phone. I just get home from this trip from me telling you what I've been going through in my life. And I stayed home for like 2 months straight. I didn't want to do no shows. I told everybody, I don't care what money out there, I don't want it. I want to chill out. I want to clear my mind. I want to be with my family. I want to meditate. I want to pray more. I can't believe what's going on right now. I can't believe people doubting me. I cannot believe all I've done for a lot of people in this business, in this game. They don't know my worth. So now I got Snapchat. So I'm in a different mind state. Meaning as in everything that people love from me on Snapchat, from my flowers, all that's I've been doing that my whole life. From me playing conscious music and certain reggae music, I've been doing that my whole life. From me, Lion on, I've been doing that for my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I said, I got me a jet ski. I started jet skiing. I wanted to bring joy to me, get my mind off of things. My fans started seeing me jet skiing and saying, they don't want me to win. They don't want you to win. So we win more. They don't want us to have breakfast. They don't want us to eat healthy. They want to finish us. They want us miserable and they want us broke. I was saying this all through Snapchat. That's something I've been saying my whole life. I didn't know Snapchat. I don't even know how to use it yet. I didn't even know who's following me. I don't know nothing about it. I don't even know how to follow somebody on it. While I was doing all that, I didn't know the whole world was watching me.
You got a new generation of kids. Like, I had kids, they're not. I had kids that didn't know what happened in the noughties or the 90s. Like, there's kids who were like, talking about you, like, and I was like, how do you know? And, oh yeah, it's on Snapchat. And they tell me about your adventures.
Yeah,
like,
and the adventures and all that. So I'm in my home for 2 months straight, so I don't know what's going on out there outside my house. Because I went into meditation mode. I didn't know what's going on in the world. Like, even my own friends couldn't get a hold of me. I was just meditating. You know, I needed that time for me. And I'm on my Snap. My Snap broke from a jet ski. Like the phone got messed up. So I had to leave my house. I go on my flip-flops, swim trunks, white tee. I go to the mall. I go to the Apple store. I always got love. You know, I've been blessed. Cal, I want your autograph picture. I always got love. Thank God that people recognize me for my music, and I appreciate it. Thank God. And the support. I always had great fans. But I was at the Apple store fixing my phone. I turn around. There's like 5,000 people in the store. So I kept looking around. I said, is Justin Bieber in here? Like, I kept saying to myself, and then it started screaming, Lion, DJ Khaled, major key alert. The key is, the grass was brown, now it's green. I ain't give up. Like, they were saying all my talk. Because all my talk, I was, Snapchat is like you look into a mirror almost, and you push record. So you're recording yourself, and it's 10 seconds. I'm really talking to myself, inspiring myself. Of course I inspire other people. Of course I uplift people. But I'm also motivating myself. So I'm hearing all these people talking my talk. Like major key, and the key is, and don't play yourself. And so I'm like, I go back home, I'm like, yo, I start getting phone calls now. People are calling me like crazy. I go to Vegas. This is now New Year because I was home for the holidays. So the first gig I took after the holidays was New Year's in Vegas. Okay. So I'm like, I gotta go back to work. I gotta pay the bills. My girl pregnant. Gotta make this money back from all the money I put in the last album. I shoot big videos. I never compromise. My stuff gotta still be big, So I go to Vegas. I get to my hotel room. I go to my room. I get there like 5 in the morning because I travel on bus. So I'm watching people when I'm walking in my room screaming. Like it was late night. So it was, I'm sitting there thinking like, it's the regular stuff. So I wake up in the morning. The people from Tao Vegas call me up and say, yo, don't come downstairs. I said, what you mean? I'm going downstairs to get something to eat. I'm going to go to the pool. I'm going to live my life. You can't. We got to bring you through the back door, through the secret elevator and all that. There's thousands of people trying to get in because they know you're staying at this hotel. I said, huh? So I walk downstairs, and it's like so many people showing love to me. And I said, man, look at fan love. They showing me so much love. And, my show's always been packed. Now it's like sold out with lines around the building. What I learned through the whole vibe was people now know DJ Khaled personally, not just for making #1 hits and being in videos and being in the game. They know him personally. And I think, that's the best way as a fan to know somebody personally that you like and inspired by, as well as he makes great music. So now my fan base is on another level. So the reason why I told you this story about what I went through in my life is God would not stop putting so many blessings upon me. The blessings started coming on me like in so many ways. Got my Apple deal. L.A. Reid calls me. Khaled, let's make history again. He's the first one to give me my first label deal. Let's do it again. Let's this, let's that. This call came in, this endorsement, this, that, this show, this tour, the Jay-Z tour, the Beyonce tour, this and this. And I'm inspired. I'm making new music. And then my queen is pregnant. I'm inspired. My son about to come. Then my son comes. What I'm trying to tell you is I ain't give up. And at one time, that's what they were trying to make me do. They wanted me to give up, and they were trying to finish me. It didn't work. I'm here with you now, talking about a real story, a real storm, and we weathered it. That's what I'm here to tell you. Like, when I made this album, Grateful, I'm thanking my fans and my son and God and my relationships. Major Key inspired me, and made the most, that was my biggest album up to date till today, till this new album come out. You know what I'm saying? And then from my relationship from Drake to Lil Wayne to Ross to Future, the list goes on. All the artists of Jigga, all the artists I work with, from Beyonce to Rihanna to just everybody, Alicia Keys, everybody saw this album. What I'm trying to tell you is that whoever was down with me from day one, we still cooking. And I want to say thank you for not giving up on me too. And that's why I be in this studio with no sleep, making the biggest records. You know, that's why I go on stage and put my heart, blood, sweat, and tears out on that stage from the turntables and to be a performer. That's why I'm a great father and I'm going to go even harder for my son. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just a real story. If you haven't read my book, The Keys, go read my book, The Keys. You know, it's a real story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through some real life situations that, thank God, you know what I'm saying? Like, but look at us now. And we bless. And I'm never stopping. And I'm thankful. And I'm grateful. And I work for mine. I put in my work. Ain't nobody made DJ Khaled. God did. And I'm grateful for everybody that helped me and support me the same way I help them and support them. You know, I woke up one morning, as much energy I've always worried about how other people felt and made them happy and never worried about how I felt. I was more worried about other people my whole life. And I'm still like that. But the difference is I care about myself now too.
How does it feel to be a father?
Best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world. You have children?
3.
God bless. Ain't it the best thing in the world?
I totally agree.
It's the
Definitely.
best thing in the world. Yeah. I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't a father. Like, I can't believe I haven't been a father from. If I was born, if I can make a decision to be born as a newborn and be a father, I would. Right. That's how great of a feeling it is. Right. Being a father showed me what real definition of love and joy is. Right. You know, through the feeling through your children. You know what I mean? Special.
Planning to have any more kids?
I want to have more kids. I told my queen we should wait till Assad starts walking, because I praise all the mothers out there, because it's a real, real blessing job. Because that's your kids. You know, you have to feed, you have to change the diapers, you have to make sure they're healthy, you have to make sure they're good, and you have to be with them every second of the day. Even when they're sleeping, you have to be with them. So I praise the queens, the women and the mother out there, because, you know, it's a lot of work. And of course, us fathers help, but we also have to bring the food and the roof over our head to make sure we all good. So the reason why I said we should wait for him to walk, because I know it's a lot of work, and I want to make sure that we don't, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of work. So I definitely want more kids, yes.
America's kind of crazy right now.
Yes.
There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things happening in the UK as well in the same way. And in a lot of ways, it feels like nothing's changed since the 60s and so forth, with some of the things that are being said, some of the hate that's being spewed. Do you ever have any kind of worries for your own family and your own child, like, at this moment in time? Like, you're bringing life into a world where, you know, there's a lot of hate. It's not as plain sailing as what people think it is, you know, the political environment and everything else. Do you ever feel any kind of, you know, way from what's been going on?
I mean, it's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I pray every day, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I won't let that negative energy come in my home. You know what I'm saying? I protect my home, and God protects my family and myself and all of us. You know, I keep all that away from the home, you know, and I try to be as positive as possible through these hard, crazy times that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm more cautious as a father now. You know, I'm not gonna just go do something to go do something. Like, I'd rather, you know, tell my queen and my son, don't go nowhere. Stay home. Let me buy you the biggest house ever. Let me give you a swimming pool. Let's have barbecues. Let's smile. Let's be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because it is, you turn the TV on, it's always something going on. You go outside, there's something going on. So I just try to stay focused and have hope and have faith and pray to God every single day and give thanks. And you know, we bless. God is the greatest. So, you know, we going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day I always tell you, it's a cold world. Bundle up. And when you know it's a cold world, you know it. Now, let's be positive. Let's figure it out. Because I feel like the more love, if we come together as love, that's the most powerful thing in the world. When we come together and unify. And that's when you're unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when there's crazy things that go on in the world, you realize when the whole world is in sync and not agreeing with something, and we all come together, you see the power of love. You know, sometimes it takes something crazy to happen for us to come together. Yeah. But, you know, I've always promoted peace, love, happiness, and unity. And that's what we need to represent.
Grateful.
Yeah.
Biggest album yet.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
I feel grateful, man. I feel great and I feel grateful. You know what I'm saying? My best album, I did this for my son, and probably the most hardest album to make.
Why?
Because my expectations and my goals that I set was the highest ever. And I put the biggest artists in the world, music business, music artists on one album. This has never been done. You read my track listing, you heard my album.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Drake, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Alicia Keys. The list goes on. Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Future. I can go for hours. What I'm saying is, I want to please all them as well. And we did that by making the greatest records. And when I say it's my hardest, because everybody on there, almost A-list artists. So besides making the greatest record ever, I also want to make them happy and make myself happy and make the fans happier. And we did it. We did it. I could tell you this, it's impossible to do. But guess what? Me and my son did it.
Right. And
this is honest talk. Like, this ain't no hype talk. It's real talk. This is something that cannot be dismayed. You know what I'm saying? And we did it, and the response is amazing. And we've put out numerous #1 records, and now the album's out. We're gonna have more #1 records. You know, I feel like Major Key got nominated for a Grammy. Grateful gonna win that Grammy. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
And that's what this Grateful is, man. It's the biggest album.